Good morning everyone. So I am here with your another video of the poem Slumber Did My Spirit Seal. In the previous video we had discussed the summary of the poem. Okay, so I'll just summarize this poem once again and then we'll move to the poetic devices found in this poem. Clear? So basically this is a poem about the poet's deep love for his beloved and his reaction to her sudden and untimely death. Why sudden and untimely death? Because the poet was not expecting this situation. Okay, so he thought that his beloved one will always be there with her. Okay, so he was in you can say in upset mode or unhappy, sad, you may say. Okay, that or you can just say that he was not expecting this. Okay, he was in belief that everything in life will always remain the same and he'll always be happy. Okay, he was but all of a sudden he lost his loved one, and then he was unable to realize, he was unable to accept, okay, accept this truth, understood, accept the truth that every life will finally end in death, everyone has to die. He thought that she would live forever. Who would live forever? His beloved one. But it did not happen, and so he is totally unprepared for the death of his beloved one. Okay, now when she is dead, the life for the life she is dead, she is gone, and she is unable to either hear or see. Then he realizes that she is, and will always be there. Okay, as part of the nature. She, you can say that she has turned to earth from where we all come. She has been mixed with the soil, okay, and thus become a part of nature. Clear? So this was the summary, and I have already summarized this poem, but still I am summarizing it again. Short summary. Now, slumber means, you already know the meaning, sleep. Okay. Then what is the meaning of spirit? Spirit is the way people think or feel about something. Atma जिसको बोलते हो. Seal means to, you've already asked in the doubt clearing class, and I've already answered this, the meaning of this word, but still I am explaining that the meaning of seal is to shut or close. Okay. Then earthly again means world, in the world. Okay. Diurnal, I have already told you, is daily. Okay. Then course is path, you can say. Okay. So these are some of the words of which I am just saying the meaning. Okay. Now let's move to the literary devices present in the poem. The first literary device is the rhyme scheme of the poem. So let's see if there is any rhyme scheme present in the poem or not. So to find out the rhyme scheme of the poem, we focus on the last word of each line. Okay, last word of each line, that is line 1, line 2, line 3, line 4, stanza wise. Okay, so let's see. The first stanza starts from a slumber did my spirit seal till the touch of earthly ears. So this is the very first stanza. Okay, very first stanza of the poem. Clear? So let's try to find out the rhyme scheme in the very first stanza. So as I told you that we focus on the last word of each line, that is we start from the first line. Okay, so last word is seal, then you have fears. So is seals rhyming with fears? No, these two words are not rhyming with each other. So seal will be marked as A and fierce will be marked as B. Clear everybody? Now come to the third line, feel. Now feel is rhyming with seal. Okay, so we'll mark feel as A. Now the last line of this first stanza, the touch of earthly ears. So ears is again rhyming with fierce. Okay, so we'll mark ears as B. Seal, feel, A, fierce, ears, B. Okay, these two words are rhyming with each other. These two sets of words are rhyming with each other. So we'll mark it like that. So the rhyme scheme in the very first stanza is A, B. Is it clear? Now, let's move to the next stanza, that is the last stanza of the poem. No motion has she now, no force. Seas, course, trees. So now you can see force is not rhyming with, force is neither rhyming with seal nor fierce. So we'll mark force as C because it's sounding completely different from both the words. Okay, so force will be marked as C. Now we have seas. Again, force is not rhyming with C, so we'll mark seas as D. So force, seas is C, D. Now force is rhyming with second last line, last word of second last line, that is course. Force, course. So we'll mark course as C. And trees is rhyming with seas. So we'll mark trees as D because we had already marked seas as D. Okay, so rhyme scheme, the words, the sets of words that are rhyming with each other are force is rhyming with course, seas is rhyming with trees. These two sets of words are rhyming with each other. Okay, so in the next stanza, that is in the last stanza, the rhyme scheme is C, D. Okay, so finally the rhyme scheme in this poem is A, B, C, D. Clear? So this is all about rhyme scheme. Now let's move to the second poetic device or the alliterative device, that is the alliteration. Now what is alliteration, children? Alliteration is you can say repetition of a consonant sound at the start of two or more consecutive words. Okay, for an example, you can see in the very first line, spirit, seal. So the S sound is repeated. Okay, अब यहाँ पे the question may arise कि why slumber is not being repeated, slur. So यहाँ पे slur के साथ ल की भी आवाज़ आ रही है. So therefore slumber is not being repeated or it won't be taken as an example of alliteration. Okay, so in the very first line, the example of alliteration is spirit, seal. Clear? Now let's come to the second stanza, that is rolled round. Okay, so again in this line the R sound is repeated. So these two are an example of spirit, seal in the very first stanza and rolled round in second stanza. These two are an example of alliteration. Okay, then you have the next poetic device, that is enjambment. Now what is an enjambment, children? We have already discussed. Okay, what is an enjambment? Enjambment is something like when a sentence continues into two or more lines, okay, without any and the sentences or the lines do not have any punctuation mark, then that is an example of enjambment. Okay, for an example you can see, she seemed a thing that could not feel the touch of earthly ears. Okay, so in the first line, again in the second line, first line there is a hyphen, second line there is a full stop, third line there isn't any punctuation mark. So third line is an example of enjambment. Okay, third to fourth line, clear? In the very first stanza. Now come to the second stanza. Again in the first line you have a hyphen, second line you have a comma, third line again there is no punctuation mark. So third to fourth line is an example of enjambment. Clear, children? So, she seemed a thing that could not feel the touch of earthly years and rolled round in earth's dural course with rocks and stones and trees. So, this is these are the examples of enjambment. I hope the literary devices are clear to you in this poem. So, that's all for today. Thank you, children.